Hello there, my name is Nils with Learn to DIY, and I am long overdue on giving an update on our $500 trailer. A lot of you have been asking about it, and I wanted to go ahead and catch everybody up on what's changed in the last several months, so let's dive in. So first things first, the door has been totally rebuilt. So I took everything apart, got rid of that hole that was there, put brand new rigid foam core insulation in there. I remade the screen and screened it, put a new lock and a new handle on here, and made sure everything was good to go there so we can properly lock the trailer, and then rebuilt the window piece. I probably want to buy a new actual frame for this because I just put together the old one that was there and it's okay, and then you can see the caulking job is not the best here, but it's totally functional now, keeps everything out and keeps it sealed, so when I've got the AC running in here it feels pretty good. Next up, we did a lot of demo. You can see right here, for example, there used to be a big wardrobe and we took that apart and cut off the bottom to make more room. And over here, cut in a nightstand in here. You'll see all of the doors for the cabinetry are missing, and the mirrors and all that kind of stuff. We've taken those out, so that's good. Up on the ceiling, there are no wasps anymore. So we've de-wasped the entire place because, you know, those kind of aren't fun to work with. And bathroom is a disaster. And I've decided to save this for later. So we'll touch more on this a little later in the build. I'm gonna probably leave a lot of this as is for the moment, but I've taken some of the wall panels out so that we can put a proper shower head and everything that's needed in there. And again, wasps are gone there, so that's a good thing. Now moving on to the main body of the trailer, this is looking quite a bit different from last time. So generally speaking, we've got the biggest improvements here. There's insulation. I did the 2-inch foam core insulation all throughout the floors, anywhere that it needed it, anywhere where there wasn't clean and good fiberglass insulation. Did the same thing on the walls, and you can see bits of it peeking through. Like I've got a pretty bad gap right here I'm gonna have to take care of, but there's some of the rigid foam core in there. And so that's all cleaned up and insulated, and everything in this place is insulated now, so that's a good thing. So that's one of the big changes that we've got in here. And then obviously we've got walls. So I used this 5mm 3-ply panel here and placed this on everything. There's some pretty bad gaps in here that I'm gonna have to take care of, and I'm trying to find out if I need to do some putty in there or something else. Now most of these walls will be covered with some sort of a wall treatment, not just paint, but probably some shiplap or perhaps some stick-on tile or other treatment like that. So most of this won't be seen, but I just want to make sure that it looks decent. So if we want to take that off and just go with paint at some point, it won't look bad. We've de-wallpapered as much as we could, and the only stuff that's still on there at this point are things that are like really on there, and I'm not so worried about painting over them. According to the research, it looks like you can paint over this, especially if you sand it and clean it and do a really good job with that. So I think we're going to give that a try. Everything is stapled in. Just last night I stapled in all of the flooring, stapled in all of the walls, and got everything set up there. So that's why I've got the compressor is out here with the staple gun and everything. So that's gone pretty well. And I just finished designing the dinette area here in SketchUp so that I know exactly what that's going to look like, all of the dimensions, and I can start on the build for that. And the dog is checking everything out. Pip, what do you think? Does it look all right? All right, no comment means yes. So everything's looking pretty good. I'm excited. A few other upgrades that we went through while we had the walls open. I added outlets all over the place. I've got an outlet there, another outlet back here, another outlet up there for whoever sleeps up top here. I've added speakers, and so whoever worked on this before, they did a real disservice here. They actually snipped the wires way back in the wall there, so I don't know how I'm going to get those out. I think I'm going to have to rip open this wall panel, reach as far as I can and splice in some new speaker wires. But these speaker wires here are some leftovers from my basement, and I ran new speaker wires into the corners. So I've got a speaker there, well, I've got a drop for a speaker there and a speaker there, and we've got this fun plan, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of this. But what I'm going to do is put a theater projector, sorry, not a projector screen coming down here. You guys know I like home theater stuff, so I'm going to put a projector screen that comes down here, hangs down 3 or 4 inches, that we'll just hook it up when we want to. Maybe just put a hook on either side here, something like that. Make it, a decent size. And then we'll have a little mini projector right behind me here that will project onto there. And I've already got one of those. and that way we can have a larger screen that's not in the way most of the time and will be taken down whenever we're not using it, as opposed to a big TV somewhere or something like that. It's a small trailer, so we kind of have to work with the space, but I think that'll be pretty cool. And then we'll have the sound hooked up to all of the speakers around here. We've already got some in the ceiling here. We have the ones behind us in each corner, and then where I'm standing will be one big bed if we lay it all out, so that'll be pretty cool. So hopefully we'll be able to have a kind of a fun spot for the kids to watch movies and just enjoy their evening. So, and yes, we will of course make them go outside and that kind of stuff, but that's not always the best option if it's like scorching hot or raining or that kind of thing. So we want it to be fun in here. Speaking of which, we've got some fun changes coming up in here. I'm thinking about putting just a curtain over here as a separator for the bedroom here. So if we need to get changed or something, we have a little privacy. And then we've got the bed here that I just need another piece there for, and some real furniture building essentially to do, or cabinet finishing to do in this area. But I think that'll be pretty smooth. I've checked back here for water damage, made sure that anything that needs to be replaced has been replaced. And we've got a lot of putting and painting and all that kind of stuff to do. But to me, that's pretty fun. I think that'll be pretty good. Pip's checking the place out. Pip. She's like, what are you calling my name for? All right. So, other big things, we've got the plumbing in the floor. There's a little X with a circle in there. That's where the drain comes up and goes into the gray and black water tanks. So I've got that to put in. I've got the propane line here and all of the cabinetry to do right here. This needs to be rebuilt completely. And we're thinking about not putting the stove back in. We'll probably put a range, maybe a 2 or 3 burner range, and then put one of the electric air fryers or something like that. That way we can have the range hooked up to propane, but the rest of it would just be electric for when we've got shore power. So we're hoping that will work out okay. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on that. We don't plan on doing a lot of baking off of propane necessarily, and I think most of the time we'll be on grid, as it were. So I think that'll work out okay, but I'd love to hear any feedback people have on that if you've had experience with that. The refrigerator is a problem. This is one of these fridges that's pretty nice. It's got the ability to run off gas or run off electricity, but the problem is when I opened it, the smell of ammonia just about overtook me and I almost passed out when I first opened it. So something's gone wrong in there and I probably have to replace something. So if you know something about that, feel free to leave comments. I don't know if I need to replace the whole thing or just maybe some supply in there or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to mess with it until I'm ready to get back onto that. Fortunately, the air conditioning unit here is still working like a charm. Right now it is 93 degrees outside and it feels good in here. I just turned it off for a minute to record this. I opened up the ceiling, found out what this issue was, and we've got some nastiness in here that I might need to replace still. And then I'm not sure what to do with these ceilings. If I want to just try to patch them and paint them, or if I want to cover them up or rip all this out. Ripping the ceilings out sounds like a nightmare to me, so I'm thinking I'll try to patch and paint as best I can. We've got LED light bulbs in all of the, I don't know if this is the one on the switch. Let me show you a different one. LED light bulbs in all of our fixtures here, and these are so much brighter than the little incandescent bulbs that it comes with. And I don't like these fixtures, so I'll probably replace those, but in the meantime, these bulbs are cheap, and I got them on Amazon, and they save, they save a lot of energy, but they also are super bright. Like, they're way better than what came in here. So I can work in here at night pretty comfortably. Got more work to do on these. Like, there's no fan blade in here. The blade has, kind of faded and broken apart due to sunlight exposure, I think. So I've got to get new fans, and I know those can be pricey for good ones. And I think that's mostly it. That's pretty much the update of where we're at right now. So new doors, new floors, new walls, new electrical running. One last update on those. I'm actually going to I purchased the kind that have USBs built right into the sides here. So there'll be a USB on either side here, plus the plug. So all of the outlets in here will have a place to be able to plug in your devices if you need to charge our phones and things like that. And I think that's mostly it for what's going on right here. So I've got a lot of things to figure out. I've got some cabinetry to kind of design and see what it looks like. But here's a sneak peek of what I'm working on in SketchUp for our dinette area that will convert into one huge bed over here for a few people to be able to sleep on. So we'll see how that goes. And I think that's about it for now. So if you've got comments, questions, suggestions, especially, you know, if you've done something like this before and can help a little bit with some of these things, I'd love to hear about that. I've got a lot to learn. I'm very comfortable with doing this stuff where it's just electrical and plumbing and that kind of thing, but like for example, I don't know how to hook up all this water. We've got this tank here. This is the original one, and I've got these two water lines here. One comes off the pump and goes somewhere, and then this one, and then our water heater is over here on the other side. So we've got our cold in, our hot out, but I'm not sure exactly how best to run that. So I kind of need to diagram all that out. So again, if you've got some expertise in this area and want to pitch in with some ideas, then I am all ears. I'd love to hear it. I've got the outside shower to hook up there as well, so all kinds of stuff to do with plumbing. And I'll probably try to run PEX as much as I can because I think that's going to be fastest, easiest, cleanest, all that kind of thing. So anyway, going pretty good here. I'm excited by it. Now, as we wrap up here, I'd love to get your feedback on what kind of video formats you guys would be interested in. I'm happy to share maybe a little bit more details on how I rebuilt the door, or how I did the flooring or insulation, or any of those sorts of things that you might be interested in. Or if you like these kind of broader overview videos, we can keep going in that format too. So let me know in the comments below what you'd prefer to see and what's interesting to you, and we'll see if we can get that done moving forward. Now, you can see on the screen here what the first video looked like, and then as soon as I have it ready, I'll post the next video as well. So if you want to subscribe, you can get those video updates as soon as they're available. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Nils with Learn to DIY, and we'll see you on the next one.